Y'all, at midnight, Melody Shari Rogers released her statement stating that she would no longer be on Love and Marriage Huntsville. After 9 seasons of sharing her life with us, she has decided to part ways with the show.
Melody Shari wasn't just another cast member on Love and Marriage Huntsville. She was the heart of the show. But as we all know, power dynamics in reality TV can change in an instant. In this case, Carlos King was about to remind everyone exactly who's in charge. Carlos King isn't just any producer. He's one of the biggest names in reality TV. His track record speaks for itself. From the Real Housewives of Atlanta to Love and Marriage Huntsville, he knows how to create compelling TV that keeps audiences hooked. But he's also known for being strategic. He builds stars, but he also knows when to shift the focus if a cast member starts gaining too much control. That's what makes him successful in this industry. He understands that reality TV is a machine, and no one person is bigger than the show itself.
Does it hurt you that she's around your children?
It does not hurt me, no. More than anything, I go into protective mode. Like, I'm never going to trust someone who adored my family setup so much that they worked their ass off to come between it. Of course, with the help of him, but still.
Hey, our children are perfectly fine.
Like I said, for me, knowing that they are around someone who has said such nasty and vile things about their mother and about
all those babysitters that you had, 11 babysitters,
who said multiple things
you know
about
what
their
I'm saying?
father.
11
See how he
babysitters.
defends her? He's bringing up something directly at me when I'm talking about a person who has for years, as he knows, tried to torture and come in between our marriage, DMing me. See, he knows all of those things, and I could keep going. So when he sits there and tries to defend how...
For a long time, it seemed like Melody and Carlos had a solid working relationship, but things started to shift when Melody's brand began expanding outside the show. She wasn't just relying on Love and Marriage Huntsville anymore. She was creating her own empire. From her skincare line to her music career, she was building something that existed beyond reality TV. And let's be real, once a reality star starts getting too independent, it can create tension with producers. Reports of clashes between Melody and production started surfacing. Some insiders claimed that Melody wasn't always on the same page with how the show was being run. She reportedly didn't like how certain storylines were being pushed, and there were even whispers about her frustration with editing choices. When reality stars feel like they're losing control of their own narrative, things can get messy. Then came the big question. Did Carlos King feel threatened by Melody's influence? It wouldn't be the first time a producer has had to make tough decisions when a star starts gaining too much power. If a cast member becomes too influential, they can start dictating the direction of the show. And for a producer like Carlos, that's not how things work. He runs the show, literally. He decides what stories get told and how they're framed. So, if Melody was pushing back too much, it wouldn't be surprising if tensions escalated behind the scenes. Then came the moment that shocked everyone. Melody suddenly took a step back. But was it really her choice? Or did Carlos King pull some strings behind the scenes? Let's break it down. Fans started noticing a shift in Melody's role on the show. She wasn't as front and center as before. Her screen time felt different, and some even claimed that the editing seemed to downplay her presence. Was this a natural progression, or was there something more strategic going on? Then there were the rumors of contract disputes. Some sources claimed that Melody and production weren't seeing eye to eye on certain terms. Whether it was about money, control, or storyline direction, something wasn't adding up. In reality TV, when a star starts making demands, producers have 2 choices: meet them halfway or start phasing them out. Carlos King has a history of making executive decisions when stars become too powerful. He's done it before. If a cast member becomes difficult to work with or starts thinking they can operate outside of production's control, the dynamic changes. Some people believe that's exactly what happened with Melody. She was growing beyond Love and Marriage Huntsville, and instead of letting her dictate how much power she had, Carlos may have made moves to remind everyone who was in charge. But did Melody see the writing on the wall before it was too late? Some fans believe she did. They point to moments where she seemed more distant, more careful about what she said in interviews. It was almost like she knew things were shifting behind the scenes. And if that's the case, was she preparing for an exit on her own terms? Or was she being strategically pushed out? No matter how you look at it, one thing is clear. This wasn't just a random fallout. There were deeper moves being made behind the scenes, and now we're finally seeing the full picture come to light.
So whenever we tend to be rejected, you know,
that hurts our soul, us emotionally. Shoot,
So my question,
like that'll make us do things that we shouldn't do. You know, once we feel that rejection, and I felt it. My ex, she felt it, and that caused us to do things that have hurt. You know, because of that rejection. I didn't think that I would be the person to, going through this divorce, breaking down and crying and stuff like that. I'd never been a person to cry. But this situation made me a little emotional and things like that, especially, my kids, I love them so much.
And just like that, the fandom was in an uproar. Some say Melody was outplayed, while others believe Carlos crossed the line. But the real question is, who's really winning in this battle? Fans wasted no time taking sides, and social media became the battleground. Many people called out Carlos King for being messy, accusing him of manipulating the narrative behind the scenes. Critics argue that he has a pattern of sidelining strong personalities when they start pushing back too much. Some fans believe he saw Melody's rising influence as a threat and decided to remind her who is in control. They point to similar situations on other shows he's produced, where cast members were allegedly pushed out once they became too dominant. On the other hand, supporters of Melody aren't backing down. They see her as a woman who built love and marriage, Huntsville from the ground up, only to be undervalued and possibly even removed from the spotlight. To them, this isn't just reality TV drama. It's a calculated move to shift power away from a strong black woman who is outgrowing the show. The hashtag Team Melody started trending, with fans expressing their frustration over what they see as unfair treatment. Many argue that without Melody, love, and marriage, Huntsville wouldn't have the same energy. Some are even threatening to stop watching if she's not given the respect she deserves. But the conversation doesn't stop there. Accusations of favoritism within love and marriage, Huntsville have been swirling for a while. Some viewers believe certain cast members get more favorable edits, while others are deliberately painted in a negative light. Carlos has been accused of favoring those who align with his vision for the show and sidelining anyone who challenges it. Melody supporters argue that she started getting less screen time not because she wasn't relevant, but because she was no longer willing to play the game on Carlos's terms. So, what does this all mean for the show moving forward? The long-term impact of this shakeup could be huge. If Melody officially steps away, will love and marriage, Huntsville survive without her? Some fans say the show will struggle to maintain the same level of drama and engagement without her presence. Others believe Carlos will simply shift the focus to new storylines and cast members, keeping the show alive despite the controversy. But one thing is certain, this isn't a situation that will just blow over. The battle between Carlos and Melody has exposed deeper issues about power, control, and how reality TV really works behind the scenes.
What I did that I
Repeatedly.
so just regret from the depths of my heart. I regret. I'm like, if I knew, now it's like it wouldn't be this way. You know what I'm saying?
You should have listened.
Now, this is where things take a wild turn, because if you thought Melody was backing down, think again. She might just have the last laugh after all. Melody has been dropping cryptic hints all over social media, and fans are dissecting every post. She's made it clear that she's stepping into a new chapter, but what exactly does that mean? Some believe she's gearing up for a major new project outside of love and marriage, Huntsville, possibly even her own reality show. If she truly was pushed out, what better way to take control than by creating something on her own terms? There's also speculation that she might finally spill some behind-the-scenes secrets about Carlos King. Melody has always been careful with her words, but if she decides to open up about what really happened, it could change everything. Reality TV producers rarely like their behind-the-scenes moves being exposed, and if Melody has receipts, this could be a game changer. Then there's the legal angle. Some fans wonder if she's considering taking action against Carlos or the production team. If she was forced out under questionable circumstances, could she fight back legally? While nothing has been confirmed, it wouldn't be the first time a reality star has gone head-to-head with a production company over contracts and creative control. But maybe the biggest question is, will Mel make a bigger move in reality TV? Some industry insiders believe the situation could actually open new doors for her. She's already built a loyal fan base, and with the right opportunity, she could take her brand to new heights. Whether it's a new show, a tell-all interview, or a completely different business move, one thing is clear, Melody isn't done yet, and this story is far from over.
Listen, this show means a lot to Melissa in a very different way of what it means to Teresa. I think, to your point, Listen, I think anybody who watches the show can see that Melissa wants to be the top dog, and she has trouble with Teresa constantly winning in the end. And this, I'm gonna tell you, it was the season where Danielle Staub, one of my favorites of all time.
Yes,
it was the season where Danielle Staub, unfortunately, Melissa, like, Teresa told me to pull the hair. What I saw was this excitement of Melissa getting the tea. Like, well, she did what? And I think of Melissa's mind, she was like, oh baby, it's going down.
Then Carlos King finally broke his silence. But what he had to say, let's just say it left more questions than answers. Carlos didn't shy away from addressing Melody's departure, but his response felt carefully worded. In interviews and social media posts, he acknowledged the shift in the show, but never explicitly confirmed whether Melody was forced out or left by choice. Instead, he framed it as a natural evolution of love and marriage, Huntsville, hinting that the show was bigger than any one person. But fans weren't convinced. Some saw it as classic damage control, avoiding the real issue while making it seem like business as usual. One thing Carlos did emphasize was his commitment to keeping love and marriage, Huntsville, drama-free. But let's be real, anyone who watches reality TV knows that drama is the show. His claim that he wants to focus on positive, inspiring stories had fans side-eyeing hard. After all, the series thrives on messy conflicts, shifting alliances, and explosive confrontations. If Carlos were truly committed to keeping things drama-free, would love and marriage, Huntsville even exist in its current form? That's why some viewers believe he's setting the stage for a major replacement. With Melody gone, the show needs a strong central figure to keep audiences engaged. Rumors are already swirling about who could step up, whether it's another cast member taking center stage or a completely new face being introduced. Some even speculate that Carlos might shift focus to other couples and storylines, making it less about one dominant personality. But will that work, or will it backfire? Carlos's response reveals a lot about the future of love and marriage, Huntsville. While he's playing it cool, it's clear he knows the shakeup is risky. Losing a major star like Melody isn't just about cast dynamics. It's about ratings, fan engagement, and keeping people invested. The fact that he's already talking about what's next suggests that he's fully aware of the pressure to keep the show afloat. But can love and marriage, Huntsville, survive without her? With Melody gone, one thing is clear: the show will never be the same. But does that mean it's on the decline? Or is Carlos planning something even bigger? The impact of Melody's exit on love and marriage, Huntsville ratings, is the biggest concern. Love her or hate her, she was a driving force behind the show's success. Her personal struggles, business moves, and fiery confrontations kept viewers coming back. Without her, will the show lose its spark? Some fans are already saying they won't watch anymore, believing that her departure signals the beginning of the end. That brings up another question. Who could replace her? Can anyone fill the void? Some cast members have enough personality to step up, but replacing Melody isn't just about bringing in a strong voice. It's about history, fan loyalty, and the organic tension that made the show compelling in the first place. A new face might bring fresh energy, but will they have the same impact? And then there's the biggest question. Will Melody's absence make viewers lose interest? Some reality shows have managed to survive after losing key cast members, but others crumble under the weight of change. If love and marriage, Huntsville shifts too much, longtime fans might feel disconnected and move on to something else. But the real wild card, whether Melody will ever come back. Reality TV is unpredictable, and exits aren't always final. If the show struggles without her, or if the right opportunity comes along, could she make a dramatic return? Some believe she's truly done, while others think she's just playing the long game. Destiny took an unexpected turn when Melody and Carlos went from partners to rivals. But one thing's for sure, this drama is far from over. Because in reality TV, when one door closes, another scandal is right around the corner. Stay tuned, because trust me, this is just the beginning. Carlos King is finally speaking out, and trust me, he is not holding back. After months of speculation, dodging questions, and staying quiet while the drama unfolded, the king of reality TV is letting the world know exactly how he feels about Martel's actions. The truth he's spilling is shaking up the love and marriage, Huntsville fan base. Now, if you've been keeping up, you already know that Martell and Melody's relationship has been nothing short of messy. Their marriage, which played out on screen, ended in a public and bitter divorce after Martell was caught cheating. And just when folks thought the drama was over, Martell took things even further. Accusations of revenge, leaked personal details, and a pattern of toxic behavior that fans have been calling out for years. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Carlos King isn't just any reality TV producer. He's the mastermind behind Love and Marriage, Huntsville, the man who brought this cast together and someone who has watched every bit of this drama unfold firsthand. So, when he finally decided to give his thoughts on Martell and how he's been handling this entire situation, you already know it's about to get real. So, what exactly did Carlos say, and why is it sending shockwaves through the Love and Marriage community? Let's get into it.